Hi, I'm Lauren Wiebe from Weddings. Welcome to our mason jar shoot. The concept behind the shoot really started with the trend of mason jars. We've been seeing them in a lot of weddings lately, and they're really fun, really simple, easy to use, and very adaptable. But we decided to bring it in a way that is a little bit uncommon. So we added in some DIY elements that a bride can adjust and lots of other fun ideas.
Hi, my name's Ashley. I'm the creative director for Weddings. For the design of the shoe, we wanted to keep it really casual and kind of add a country charm to it, so we chose to stick with the red and white color palette. And we chose to incorporate it in a lot of different textures in the banners and the fabrics that we used to tie around the mason jars, and we whitewashed some of the mason jars to add some of that matte texture. We wanted to keep a kind of vintage feel to the whole look, but still having that casual elegance to it. So we actually got some vintage handkerchiefs from our coworker Angela, and we used those for the handkerchief banners, and we also tied those into the plates for the napkins. One of the ways we tied in mason jars in a slightly unexpected way was through the sundaes, which are in a picnic basket and tied with baker's twine to tie in the red and white theme, and garnished with a little white ceramic spoon and a tag made by 1+1. We wanted to keep the flowers as natural feeling as possible, so it's as if you just kind of stepped out into your garden and picked a bunch of fresh flowers. We wanted to tie in a lot of greenery to add a bit of color, but we wanted to keep a pretty neutral color palette to keep the focus on the fabrics that we use, the details that we added, and the decor that was used throughout the table.
I'm Angela Taylor, and I am the art director at Weddings. A few of the DIY elements that we did for this mason jar shoot were whitewashed mason jars, mini mason jar candles, and place cards out of mason jar lids. What I would recommend doing is using oil-based paint as opposed to acrylic, because once you pour water into the jar afterwards, the water will dissolve the acrylic paint. For the mini candles, we found little stubby mason jars. What I did was melt down wax and just pour it into each jar, and then set a wick from an existing candle actually, and just kind of cure it with a wooden dowel just so the wick stays centered, and just let it dry, and you have homemade candles that are fantastically cute. We made these place cards out of old mason jar lids. These are embroidered. What we did was we took pieces of fabric, cut it into a circle, and embroidered each name on them, and then glued the fabric to the inside part of the lid, and then glued the lid to the outside rim of the jar.
Hi, I'm Jessie from 1+1 Design. I'm known as the better half in the company, and I'm really privileged today to be part of this shoot with Weddings. We designed the stationery for the shoot, which includes this lovely piece here and this lovely piece here. Basically what we wanted to do with the stationery was create stationery that complemented the mason jars and all the decorations that they already had in place. We went with a polka dot theme as we knew they were going to be using a lot of patterns and textures, and we tried to tie that in through flags and through recipe cards and things like that. The flags were a fun take on the typical menu card. Usually you'd just have a menu at each place setting, but this was a little bit more fun and gave people a chance to interact more with their place settings. The sangria recipe cards were a fun take off the polka dot theme, as well as included cute little illustrations of what the guests would actually be making and tasting the day of the wedding. The bright pop of cherry red really complements and accents the tables. We tried to tie everything together, making sure that that red was used throughout the theme of the materials we designed, and I think that it helps to pull everything together really, really well.